Hello, good morning and welcome back to Termas de Rio Hondo. It's our first race day in South America in 3 years. Our last visit to this wonderful part of the world, northern Argentina, was back in 2019. It was a super Saturday here yesterday after our delayed action on Friday. It was certainly a super Saturday for Aprilia and Aleix Espargaro. We'll talk about their historic pole position very, very shortly. I'm Matt Burt, Lewis Sotheby alongside me in the commentary box. Simon Crafart, as always, down in pit lane to talk to you through this extended 40-minute MotoGP warm-up session. A pretty good opportunity for some of the riders and teams who've been struggling for setup so far this weekend to work on a little bit more race setups in this 40-minute warm-up session. Pretty good conditions as well. Air temperatures already nudging around 20 degrees this morning. Not a lot of breeze around blowing off the big lake that flanks this Termas de Rio Hondo circuit. And we're all set for a cracking race day here in Argentina. Round 3 of the 2022 MotoGP World Championship. We had that late start on Friday with some of the air freight delayed arriving from Mandalika, a 16,000 kilometre mammoth trip. But finally, when the action did get underway yesterday, it kept us on the edge of our seats throughout. And we, in MotoGP qualifying at least, Lewis, we saw a historic day for this man and Aprilia.
First MotoGP era pole position for the Aprilia team. A moment they've been waiting for, of course, for many, many years. They've been waiting for it, technically, since the 2000 Australian Grand Prix, when Jeremy Williams took pole position. Of course, that was pre-MotoGP era. That was back in the 500 days. And Aleix Espargaro himself making history, the first rider in the MotoGP era to take pole position for 3 different manufacturers: Ford, Yamaha, Suzuki, and now Aprilia. Celebrates his 200th Grand Prix start this afternoon. Can he celebrate it in the grand manner?
Before this warm-up session gets underway, it was a good day actually for the Espargaro family in general, with Aleix Espargaro on pole position. His brother Pol Espargaro, without Marc Marquez, of course, the absent Marc Marquez from Repsol Honda here this weekend, he qualified in 4th place. He starts from the head of the second row. Let's hear the pre-race thoughts of HRC team manager Alberto Puig with Simon Crafart.
Yes, Alberto, watching yesterday, like from an old rider's point of view, a lot of the guys had to go through a difficult day. You know, it was a test for a lot of people, including the mechanics, but I was really impressed how your rider Pol Espargaro fought back after his fall, one bike, and then still managed to get into 4th. I'd love to hear what you thought of his efforts yesterday.
Well, yeah, it was difficult because he was out and suddenly he was in. And he was in quite on the top. I think the guy, I mean, he didn't have a good session, but he reacted. I think when you see this type of activity is that you can understand or feel that the rider has the speed. It's just a matter that he puts the speed in one lap, he makes no mistakes, and the lap time is there. So this was the case yesterday. Of course, obviously, the race is another story. It's not one lap. You need to be consistent. We will see today in the warm-up. You know, this is an atypical warm-up, 40 minutes. So I think people will try to go on in a rhythm and see what is the situation. And sure, after warm-up, we can understand better our chances.
That was exactly going to be my question, is how did you feel your new machine hit the ground running here at a new circuit? Meaning, you know, did it feel pretty good straight away, or you're still working on trying to find the race setup?
We are still trying to find, you know, a few things. But today, in this type of racing, a small thing can completely bring you one way or the other. So if you just touch the correct setting, or you find you can have a very competitive bike, but if you are out or a little bit out, then you can make not such a good race. So let's see if in this warm-up we can understand a few things we have to still check, and we'll see.
Alberto, one last thing before I let you go. I'm sure you're tired of being asked it, but is there any latest news, or have you spoken to Mark how he's feeling?
Not yet, but this week we will understand in the next few days, Monday, Tuesday, if we have some chances for him to go to Austin.
Excellent. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Thanks to Alberto Puig. Just a bit of a recap on some of the things that were happening here yesterday on what was a pretty dramatic Super Saturday all-round with Aprilia's first front row in MotoGP history. Jorge Martin, of course, qualifying on the front row on the Pramac Ducati. We saw briefly there Luca Marini. What a day for him. Muni VR46, his first front row start in their fledgling MotoGP career. And one of several talking points that dominated yesterday's proceedings here was that tangle we saw at turn 7.